Before we get started exploring our server options with WordPress and all the programs that we're going to be uploading to your site, we need to have a way to communicate with the site, and for that we need an FTP client. Traditionally, I have used FileZilla. However, I understand that Cyberduck, which is also a free option, is fairly reliable, so I'll do a Google search for Cyberduck, and it gives me the website here, cyberduck.io. I'll go to download, and I'm running Windows 10 currently. I like the fact that just like FileZilla, this is available for the Macintosh. It's available apparently through the server, or rather the store at Windows and the store at Mac. So let's see what we can do with the download Cyberduck for Windows. And I get Cyberduck installer, and I'm going to put it on my desktop. I like to put everything on my desktop so that I can find it really quick. I'll minimize that. Here's my rubber duck key, which I guess is Cyberduck. I'll double click and follow the directions. By now you should have gotten a file containing your username information, your password information. So I'm going to click on install and just follow along with the steps. I have a very similar setup to yours, if not identical. I have a username, I have a password, I have a domain name to use. And now that my Cyberduck is installed, which was fairly quick, this is still just the installer. So I'm going to go into my Windows menu and tell it to give me Cyberduck desktop application. I'll click to run it. Wait a little bit. Once this shows up, I'm going to right click on the icon at the bottom and tell it to pin it to the taskbar so I don't have to look for it the next time. And never having used this, I think that this should be fairly simple. I have an open connection or a quick connect. I'm going to do the quick connect maybe? No, let me see. Let's see. Let's open up a connection instead. Maybe I can save this eventually. My server information, it's my first initial, which is F, and then my last name, Rodriguez, dot the website, or rather the domain that we're using is ECC, Centro College, webops.com. Port is 21. That's your standard FTP port. So on username, I'm going to use my domain, which is F Rodriguez, and the password is a password that was assigned to me. I gave it to myself. It's simple. Yours is a random email, or rather a random password that was generated by a machine somewhere. It was mailed to you. Don't click on anonymous login. This is a throwback to the 90s where FTPs were new and anybody could get anybody's information. And let's save the password, and I'll connect. This is an unsecured FTP connection, so I'll just continue with this, and I get this directory listing. So I am actually in my domain name, and public HTML is where my home page will be. All of these other folders apply to other parts of your website. The mail server, where your mail would be stored, the FTP that would be stored for public use, etc. I want public HTML, and I already have some things in here. I have another class that's running, so I have an index page that I've already uploaded here, and I'm just going to leave that untouched. However, having made it this far, I can tell that I have a connection to my server, that I have files that are available there. If this is your first time coming into your server, this might be blank, and that's fine. We're going to start to fill it with some material, starting with the WordPress installation coming in the next tutorial.